Okay, there again. Right, I've had a hell of a time getting these rubber bushes out. Have a press and everything, but you still basically got to chew all the rubber out first to get them out. Anyway, there is a similar issue in getting these bushes in because they're solid, not split, got a lip on both sides. When you try and put these in the press, they just want to fly out everywhere and they get dirty. You've greased them up and then they land on the floor, you get dirty, you get wipe and grease them again, and that'll happen freaking a dozen times before you manage to get them in. So thought about it and tried a few different things, and I think I've come up with a decent solution. I got the other, the two smaller ones in. I was using a smaller bolt. Actually, I started with an even smaller bolt, but the more movement the bolt has in the center, the more it's going to twist. And eventually I found this bit of threaded rod out in the shed, and so the closer you can get to the size of the hole with the bolt, the less it's going to twist. So right, we'll get on with it. First thing, put that down for a sec. This is the grease supplied by Fairlane. Okay, I have, because I did put a few burrs and things on the arm, on the socket of the arm where it goes in, so I have filed that out. I've sanded it somewhat, reasonably clean now. And most of all, importantly, there's no burrs on it. There is a very slight chamfer on that. It's barely enough to see actually, but there is a slight chamfer on one end. So yeah, put it in from the end if you have a chamfer. It will go in that little bit easier. So okay, plenty of grease on that one. Okay, put it in. I've got it packed up a little bit. The other thing, try and keep it sort of reasonably straight. One. Now, I'm going to put this one in. I will remove this later. This, not a perfect fit inside, but it's close enough to keep it reasonably centered. Right. Okay, next thing. Just to grease the bush. Because this is threaded rod and it's really sharp, I'm also going to grease the inner part now. I will have to actually clean that because that threaded rod's a bit dirty. There's a lot of dirt on there, so I will have to clean it and re-glaze it before I put the sleeve in it. You can't, well, the sleeve won't fit around that bolt anyway, but you can't put the sleeve on it before you put it in because it has to crush, a little bit. I suppose if you had a thinner bolt, you could put the sleeve probably 2/3 of the way down, but yeah, you don't want it right at the end because it'll restrict this lip crushing. Okay, so get that on there. Let's center it evenly in there. Okay. Just out of the way. washer. I'd like an actually bigger washer, one to cover the bush entirely, but I don't. Oh, I've got them here, but they're not. They don't have big enough holes. Actually, that one does. That's good. That's a bit tapered actually. Try and keep it in the centre a bit. Okay. Put that on. Okay, now let these off centre a little bit. Move it. Adjust it. Set it up as much as I can. It's the Whitworth ring spanner. You find with these threaded rods and hardware nuts and bolts. And they must have got their tooling from England or something, because even if they got metric and AS threads, the actual spanner size is Whitworth, which is why your sockets don't fit. You see that's, it's always going to twist that little bit. Don't worry about it. It won't tear it, as long as it's greased up. There you go, it's just slipped in. So we'll wind that down, and we'll get so far and we'll get tight. It's because we've hit that piece on the bottom, that sleeve. Take it out again now. Will be that little bit tight because you've still got that top lip, which is sort of clamping on the bolt, which is why I grease the inner part of the bush as well, so we're not going to less likely to chop into it. So we take that piece out there. This is a bearing cup. Put that on there now. Actually, I'm going to center that. A little bit more. Dropping it down too much. Okay. Yeah, that's enough to hold that ring. That ring will allow the bottom part to push through. So it fits inside it. It gives plenty of room for the lip to pop through. A little bit tight on there. And you'll know when it comes through, it'll just get real easy. You'll see it anyway. You'll see this part match up with the other. There we go. This is in. This is a good reason not to throw away bits and pieces, useful bits and pieces. all these washers and arts, bits of threaded rod. You might think, I don't have use for that anymore, but things like this come in here really handy, especially in the press. I use these in the hydraulic press a lot. Okay, we are in. Because as I said, I got to clean that now, clean the inner, re-grease it, put the sleeves back in, and we'll be ready to go. Okay. Grease off my hands now before we touch my fan. And just give you quick look over here. It's my press, it's a 3-ton press. Easy enough to make if you ever wanted to. It's pretty basic. It's just it's a 3-ton hydraulic jack. That was the larger bush. It's still stuck on the bearing cup at the moment. I'll get that out later, but yeah. So basically had to get the rubber out of the way enough, and then chisel this top lip in so that you've got something that can push on it. And there's various things that I've used. That was to go underneath the small one. I'll cut with a pipe. Various things. But the other thing you can do, which I've done before, you can't burn them out. I don't really like doing that. Burns all the paint off your thing, and the heat on it may not be that good an idea either. So, but you can use a drill, wood chisel. You can run round the bush with a drill the rubber out. A bit time consuming, but it is a way of doing it. So anyway, I think I've